everyone. Today's topic is going to be can you see? Can you see? What can you see the matrix of society? So, the first question is what is what is the matrix of society?
The Matrix is. I would say the Matrix is the devil's playground, right? It is anything that goes against what God's purpose is,
Okay.
right? So whatever your purpose in life is, right? Whatever your true love, with whatever you feel in your heart, you're guided to do.
Mhm.
Anything that goes against that is the matrix, right? I look at it as a box, right? So if you think about like certain movies that portray a cube, like the Transformers does it. What was it? The first one when it was the cube.
Mhm.
Um, the Matrix, when you look at like the covers of it, it will put it in a cube, right? It's putting you in a box, right? Pandora's box.
Mhm.
That's what it puts you in. Because now instead of you thinking outside of the box, instead of you going to do what you were created to do, everything that you do now is in the intentions, or it's hell bent on putting you in a box, putting limitations on what it is that you can do. But you're created to do way much more. Even Jesus said we would do greater works than he,
Mhm.
right? So if Jesus was this mystical creature, like this, when they try to, a lot of people try to clown, oh well, he's walking on water. No, because if he was to say we will do greater works than he himself knew that he was a mere man.
Mhm.
How do you tell other men you will do greater works than I, but I'm walking on water? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Right.
So that's the matrix. Anything that goes against your God given talents or spirit.
So that can be as far as anything from job to relationships to future.
Anything that talks you out of doing what you feel in your heart is right to do. Right? So you have people out here that were literally created to be different types of artists, musicians, writers, painters, dancers, all of that expresses emotions, right? Feelings, that energy within you, that spark, that light that gives you, that gives the world you, right? So if you think about, times in history where you had things such as that, like where are they? You don't hear about them as much as you used to hear about them, hundreds of years ago. Why is that? Because the matrix, it blocks you from doing that. And when they block you from doing what you feel in your heart you are created to do, you have all these corporations and industrial complexes,
Follow the leader.
and that's what it is. Why? Because now instead of following your heart, your natural given talents, you out here doing 9 to 5s,
Mhm.
right? You got the world's greatest or the next greatest poet working 8 9 hour shifts in McDonald's.
Mhm.
You have the latest and greatest, ballerina. When the last time you really heard about a ballerina?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You have now she's doing 15 hours in somebody's hospital.
Mhm.
You painters, artists, these are all, emotional, right? And if we go down to what the spirit is, pure emotion, right? That's what it is. You're putting your emotions on canvas or in your dances, or you have now parents, pushing you to go work for someone else for $1, which suppresses your natural ability, your
It ends your creation.
it doesn't end
Well, it
it.
doesn't end it. I'll
It
say it
suppresses
puts
it.
it. Yes, it
Puts it in a box,
Mm-hmm.
right? Hangs it up on the shelf. Why? Because we'll just go ahead and say it's certain beings out here that they're not blessed with that. So when they suppress your gifts, it makes you like everyone else, and that's what they want to do. The Matrix, the movie The Matrix, the agents. Now you have become an agent because now you have morphed into them, but you're not created to be them. You're created to be you.
Right.
Matrix.
So, how is it that you can disperse from the matrix?
Not giving a damn what anybody else says or thinks. Right? The Bible says you will be put against mother, father against father.
Daughter against mother, son against father.
Right. So, but that's why, because when you get the understanding that we are all different spirits, right? We are not. We live here, but we're not from here.
Mm-hmm.
When you have parents that I created you, I could take you out, but the thing is I was a portal for you and your brother and your sister.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at that as that was my job to birth you into this world. That's what me and your father was. We were supposed to birth you into, but you are not mine.
Right. Same genetics, different spirit.
Different spirit. You're not mine because when I leave up out of here, you're still here.
Mm-hmm.
When you leave up out of here, you go back to pool of spirits, your creator. What I'm saying, because energy doesn't die.
Right.
But you're not mine. But a lot of people look at their children as possessions.
Mm-hmm.
I had you when I had you. That became my job, my full-time job, to be a parent, to teach you, to teach the next generation of what it was that they needed to know to maneuver through this matrix. But you have parents that teach their children how to conform to the matrix. But no, I sit and watch y'all. I can see how different y'all are from everyone else.
Right. What does the Bible say? Do not be confined to the world.
Right? So for me to teach y'all worldly ways, I'm going against what my purpose is. Now, don't get it twisted. I have other purposes. It's not to just be a parent, but my main job is to be a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all didn't have to be here.
To guide, to teach, to
give Why? Us... Because I have that experience of maneuvering through the matrix. It took me 30 some odd years to understand certain things. Right? But if I teach my children what it was that took me 30 something years to learn, I can teach y'all that, like, what do you know at 18 right now? Right. You know a lot. Right. For me to be 18 to know what it was that, know what it is that I had to be a dangerous mother. You know what I'm saying? Right. To from 18 to 40, because that's a lot of time to experience and to learn and to, so you're ahead of the game. Jesus says you will be greater than I. Because, goddamn it, if you know this shit now and you ain't greater than me, I'm going to come hunt your ass. You feel what I'm saying? Because it doesn't, but there are parents who are jealous of their children.
Mm-hmm. So they purposely hold them back.
So they'll purposely hold them back. Right. Or, but some parents just didn't know. Right. I go ahead, my mom didn't know certain things, but she taught me what it is that I know now. And without what it was that she taught me, again, be greater than I. Mm-hmm. My mom wasn't jealous of me. My mom was, she still is a hell of a lot wiser than I am. Mm-hmm. Do I know certain things than she did? Yeah, but you gotta think, what does she know to have made it to 71? Right. So that's the respecting your elders, because nigga, what do they go through to make it that far? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's I would be doing, my mom or my ancestors a great disservice to not pay attention to the wisdom that they give. I'd be doing my mom a great disservice for me to still hold on to certain, wounds from my childhood because your parents teach you what it is that they know from what it is that they knew. So reverence, I give that to her. I may not do it I'm human, but when I remember, which seems to be like every couple of days, every 2 or so, I'll let her know. But like I do with you, when I speak to her, she'll go, "Oh, just yeah, okay." I do it to you too, like yeah. But why? Because I have an understanding is I love you to death, I do, but it was my job. So
I get that. I get that. I really do. And I think it's crazy because you have a lot of teenagers and young adults and adults out here that look up, still look up to their parents, and maybe not even their parents, but their sisters, their brothers, their aunts, their uncles, cousins. And because they have this quote unquote high status of living in society's eyes, the child looks up to them, not even understanding that they're being guided in the wrong direction based off of what they see. Because everything that it is that you want to do in this world, you have to put that feeling behind it. And if you're doing something and there's no feeling of love and passion and creativity and want to thrive, to make that a change in the world, then that's the wrong, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah, but a lot of people is fear too of you can have the most gangster nigga out there, right? Gang banging, doing all sorts of dirty shit to people. But on the inside, he is one of the most well spoken, emotional, can sing and dance and paint and do all of this stuff. But in society's eyes, he will be considered a punk or a wimp or too emotional or whatever. So because of that, what they would call he hardens his heart to hide who he is. Right? But if he had the understanding or the fearlessness, right, you would think he was fearless because of the things that he's out here doing. But if he was truly fearless, he wouldn't give a damn what anybody else said about him. He would portray what it was that was in his heart, right? So what scriptures were we talking about earlier? Not the meek will inherit the earth. You know exactly which one I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. 1 Corinthians, what is it, 27:1.
Which is?
Dang.
Nope.
I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Right, but
I know what you're talking about, though. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but okay. I know the verse.
Right, but what is it? The mighty will power to the weak.
Yep.
Or something, but that's why. You see how that is? Because from the outside he looks mighty, but on the inside he's weak. Why? You feel me? Because on the outside he looks tough. He out here doing a bunch of the devil's work, but God's work he's hiding. So how the devil has no power. The devil has the power that God gave him. So you out here doing the devil's work thinking you mighty, but on the inside, the God in you is weak as hell. The confirmation.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So it takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of strength to be you in a world full of agents, a world full of phonies. But the 3D got people thinking that strength is something completely different than what it is. It takes a lot of strength to be yourself. To have the entire world go against you because that's what's going to happen. That's what will happen.
But again, if I be with you, who be against you?
Darkness is attracted to the light. So as soon as they see your light, they're going to come attacking you. Hence why melanated folk is so beaten down. Because the devil sees our light and is jealous.
Right, but a lot of our people don't see that because they look at the stigma of what society has put them
and they try so hard to be what society standards are, not realizing that society is not.
Right. Without us, there would be no society.
But then at the same time, it's our fault why society is the way it is now. Because if we would have continued to follow our light, ain't no way in hell that darkness would have been able to overtake us. So you always got to point the finger back itself because it was our actions that caused us to fall. Our actions. Why? Go to the last video. What did I say? Once you start mixing and matching, that's where you fall, because now you have different mentalities, and a lot of people don't see that when you step outside of yourself, right? When you step outside of yourself, you are now allowing other quote unquote entities to come in and destroy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We can go back to ancient Egypt. That's how a lot of the pharaoh's houses fell, because him and his different concubines.
Mm-hmm.
Drove a wedge between him and his queen. Now he's having all these children with his concubines. So now you have all these different warring, and now there, what happens to the wealth? Mm-hmm. Does it go back to the original woman and her children? No. Now it's all spread out to, history repeats itself. What happens now? Mm-hmm. All these athletes and entertainers or whatever. Oh, excuse me. Now they get to all these other different. Is the wealth coming back to the quote unquote black community? Mm-hmm. Is at all? Yeah, it's our fault. Mm-hmm. It's not the woman blame the man. It's not the man blame the woman. As a whole, it is our fault. Mm-hmm. Right? But you have the men that want to, oh, well, black women, so they step outside of it. It ain't black women, it's you. You are responsible for your own actions. And you have the black women, oh, it's black men, they broke. No, it's not black men that's broke, it's you. Because you're too lazy to get up off your ass and go do it for yourself. Mm-hmm. So we pointing fingers at each other, but refuse to look at self. Hurting people hurt people. Right. And until you decide to look at yourself, to heal yourself, you're going to continue perpetrating the same shit. Mm-hmm. The Matrix. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Get your spirit all riled up, don't it? Sure does. Yep. It's that warrior spirit. I keep to myself, because I be cursing people out every day. Leave it. I'm trying to think if I have any more questions. Is there a way that man can Stutter Stanley? Is there a way that man can gain back his strength through others, or is that something that he has to go in with himself? Your strength is built with yourself first. Mm-hmm. You have to build yourself up first. That goes in line with the you can't, how you filling somebody else's cup up if yours ain't filled up? Mm-hmm. Where are you filling it up from? Which means exactly. So if you halfway filled and you filling theirs all the way up, if you topping theirs off because they halfway filled, now you're completely depleted. You have nothing. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, they walking around here happy and shit, and then now you have resentment and all types of other stuff because mm-hmm. now they all happy and you sad and miserable and depleted. Mm-hmm. But again, it takes a lot of strength to be able to cut off somebody, parents included, mm-hmm. because you're not whole. And it's selfish on their part for them to even require you to, knowing that you're not whole. So at that point right there should tell you what type of person that is. Mm-hmm. If they won't allow you to separate yourself to heal because they're afraid of what they're going to lose, that's not unconditional love. That's just them loving themselves and being selfish. Right? And you as a person have to recognize that. Regardless of the title, you have to recognize that the first commandment, love thy God more than, and when you realize that God is you, right? God is in you, thus God is you. You have to love yourself first and foremost before you can love anybody. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you love someone else? How? Mm-hmm. So you giving someone else all the love you should be giving to yourself. Because then when your cup is full, you now learn how to replenish your own damn cup. You can freely give without resentment of giving. right, and without feeling depleted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I go out and you know I'm helping people and I'm you know speaking with people, when I come home, I'm not. Am my energy a little? Is it a little like lower? Yes, absolutely, because you're giving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I know how to replenish my own goddamn cup. So I come home and I'm good.
Right.
You
You
know,
eat a sandwich, lay on the couch for 30 minutes, and
and I'm fine because I know how to to replenish my own self. I don't look for that love outside of me. I used to.
And a lot of people look for that love outside of themselves because when it comes to healing themselves, they don't look at their life, their lessons as growth, as achievement, as I'm a warrior,
No,
I'm
they
strong. They look at it as I was weak, I'm wounded, I've been
But
shot
then you
down.
then you have those around you that reinforce that to you, plant those seeds. Why? Because then you have to realize you have people around you that don't want to see you succeed.
So it's like at a certain point, you have to truly understand that you are your only superhero, right?
Faith. Right. You have to have faith in yourself because at the end of the day, have I had people that helped me get to where I am? Absolutely. Absolutely. But if I didn't have faith in myself, I would have never took their advice. I would have never listened to what they were saying. I would have never, you know, saw in myself what it was that, you know, my mom saw in me. You know, it took me a long time to realize she was so hard on me because she saw the greatness in me. Right? When you see the greatness in someone, you're going to be hard on them. Hence, black women with black men. Because we see the greatness in them. You damn right we gonna be hard on you. Get your lazy ass. You don't do shit. Why? Because we see that greatness in you, nigga. That ain't it. Right?
You see you before you see yourself.
But that's what we are for. You know, a lot of us aren't. We have to be this harsh because we see their strength. They're not. Do you see our lion tamers out here? Oh, come here, sweetie, let me do this. Or are they whooping their ass trying to get them in shape? They're lions. The fuck we look like? Oh, come here, sweetie, let me scratch behind you, and then you would eat me the fuck up. Yeah. So you right. We are harsh because y'all require that.
Right, but that's what you need. That's what reinforces your strength.
Is the fact that, first of all, we are your counterpart.
Iron sharpens iron.
We are your counterpart. When have you ever seen a lion and a lion? Lionesses roar too. We are not kittens. We're not. Part of the feline, yes, but we are not we are not kitten now. You also see that, you know, you'll see them in nature, the lioness cuddle up to the but at the end of the day, nigga, you do some shit. She's not going, oh, okay, yeah, she gonna roar at your ass. Because we see that greatness in you that you don't see yourself. That's why in the Matrix, the Oracle is a black woman. She saw the greatness in Neo. He ain't see himself. They put the shit in movies.
They put everything in movies.
You know, so but they take it and they take it to heart. But no, it's not to hurt you. It's not to wound you. It's for you to get your ass up and put on dust off your fucking crown and put that shit on your head and walk out here because nigga, I tell y'all all the time, if y'all can take my mouth, y'all can go out here to the world and they ain't gonna. Again, what Aaron say all the time, water off a duck's back. Because you can go out, shit, I'd rather go out here and be myself to y'all than go home and tell my mom that I was faking the funk because she going to be down my throat a hell of a lot worse than y'all are if I show who my true nature is. Because you damn right. As soon as you come home and say, well, I wanted to, but what the fuck you mean you ain't want to? How was I when they was playing with your man? No, you stand there. If you ain't like how that felt, you let them niggas know. No. Because now you're following your feelings, your intuition. But the first moment you put your head down, they're gonna attack, and that's not how we.
Let me show you who I am.
Let me tell you
y'all think this a game. Let me show you who I am.
I am not raising no weak cubs. I'm not.
Right. And that's with anybody in society.
They should be. Right. They should be. But unfortunately, slavery got us so goddamn weak-minded and weak that we feel like we need somebody else to hold our hand to teach. No. Hell no. That's why me working for somebody else, I can't. Because, no. I can't. No. I could work with other people, absolutely. But don't you ever think that I'm a leader. I was literally born to be a leader. Mm-hmm. My life path has put me in leadership positions. But don't get it twisted. In order to be a leader, you have to also know when to shut up and listen. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, being a leader means I'm not following nobody off no cliff. So as soon as I say no, nigga, I mean that shit. Mm-hmm. But you got people out here, they rather the dollar, so they're not going to say no. They're going to accept it. Even though in the pit of their belly, they know that's not what they want to do. They're going to accept it anyway because Massa said so.
Right. You got 100 people out here taking shots. But the one person who decide not to, them 100 people looking at him like, what's wrong with you? And that one person looking at y'all like, I'm safe.
Right? Like, y'all crazy as fuck. I ain't gonna say the name because you know YouTube probably banned me, but the same thing that everybody's afraid because they running listening to what Massa said. Mm-hmm. Massa said it's gonna kill us. Massa said that it's.
But what did God tell you from the beginning?
Be not afraid. Do your own research. Knowledge is power, right? So me doing my own research gave me the knowledge to sit back and be like, oh, them niggas is lying to y'all. Y'all shit, y'all crazy as hell. So because I say y'all crazy as hell and I ain't putting shit over my face, them 99 folk looking at me like, oh, you crazy, you gonna get sick, you gonna do shit. All right, y'all think it's a game. Be not afraid. You know, being a leader is a lonely path because it ain't too many of us. Mm-hmm. Being a follower, however,
it's easy.
It's y'all got a whole bunch of other agents that's following behind y'all asses. Mm-hmm. I ain't it. Mm-hmm. It's not built in me to be it. So because it's not built in me to do it, I'll be goddamn. So I'm walking in my God-given power. Mm-hmm. Y'all can kiss my ass. That's how I feel about it, and that's what I'll tell somebody in a heartbeat. Now I'll say it nicely. You know, I'll say no. I'm like, oh no, thank you. And then they come at me again. No, I'm good. And then they come at me again. Now, what did I say? I said no. You gotta be. You know, but some people, as soon as you say no, no, I'm good. Well, you need to do.
Persistent in your power, with your power.
But again, people so afraid to make ripples. They so scared to make ripples in the water. Bitch, I'm prepared for a tsunami. Mm-hmm.
Right. Quickest way to see change is make a ripple in the water.
Mm-hmm. Right. The niggas is afraid to make ripples.
They're afraid to step outside.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm over Scorpio, baby, water sign. I make a tsunami, and if we all drown, so be it. As long as I was in my true nature. Right. I stand on my shield. Sword. Shield.
Both.
Whatever, nigga. I stand on my square. I ain't going nowhere. Mm-hmm. So if I say no, you damn sure best believe I mean no. Mm-hmm. And if I say yes, don't take my kindness for weakness. Mm-hmm. Because ain't nothing kidding about me.
I know that's right.
I'm just saying. Any more questions?
Nope, that was my last question.
Cool.